Morning, everybody. 8:16 a.m. It's August 17th. Welcome to my channel. Friday, we had Inside Day in the ES. And tried to move higher off the open. Couldn't even take out the overnight highs. And then we pushed lower and just ranged. Pretty much all we did. Low volume again. Markets are pretty much in August low volume. That's been what's been going on lately. On the trading front, I took one trade. It was a long. In the NASDAQ, not my best entry. And my entry location was not the best. It kept looking like it was going to break out from the lows. And I had excursion. I was saying when I was live on my Discord that this is not good spending time down here. And there was like equal lows below this that most likely were going to get hit, but Nasdaq kept teasing, and I wound up taking a loss. Earlier in my pre-market scenarios of the Nasdaq, literally came to close to a perfect setup. I was really looking to get long 301,200 early on in the Nasdaq, and I'm not used to trading early on the Nasdaq, and that thing was moving pretty good, and it made me hesitant, and I was too hesitant, and I didn't pull the trigger, and that thing would have worked within 5 minutes. I would have hit my target, 30-point stop, 60-point target. That would have hit my. So I'm going to continue to watch that Nasdaq. Probably trade the Nasdaq a little more now if the ES is going to keep this slow pace. But last week, generally, I was down. I had that -1R last week, so one loss basically at the end of the week. I continue to stay around this like flattish for the last couple of weeks. I'm not gonna lie, it's getting a little frustrating, but I got to stick to my process. Like I said in the past, I probably would have changed something. I'm not doing that right now. I know there's ebbs and flows of trading, and this is just a period where I'm, flat basically each week. There's trades that obviously I can look at, like if I took that trade, that would have been a win. I think I had a trade earlier in the week that was break even. I don't know if that was this week. That might have been the previous week. Um, so just, I understand August is not the best environment. So that's what's going on in the markets and in my personal trading. Anthropic projected volume revenue had a very big number, which spiked technology. Okay, that's what's really going on. I saw something about the Houthis striking something not too long ago. I think that just caused a pullback in the markets. So let's get right into it. Welcome to my channel. My name is Steve Gonzalez. Use market profile, volume profile to find structure in the markets. Along with supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day. That is my edge. It's where I cut my game plans. Now, once that market opens up, I use the market internals to see where money flows are going off the open. A little ICT, anchor view up. My weekly expected move indicator for Thinkorswim that I give away for free on my Discord, along with the gamma flip points I give away on my Discord as well. All wrapped up is my own proprietary trading system. Now, hopefully, you join me every morning. Subscribe to that alert, give you the market news, technical analysis, and I always give you the long and short trade scenarios later on in the stream for the ES and NASDAQ, okay? Alrighty. Now, if you want more in-depth coverage, you're going to join my Discord. It's Confluence Trading. Go to my YouTube homepage, click on the link, and sign up. What are you waiting for? Let me be your indicator. Okay? Let's get right into it. Futures watch list here. We've got a VIX that's up 4.844%. Almost at a 15 VIX. Ethereum up 1.20, silver up 1.12, Bitcoin up 1.10, Nasdaq up 0.45, gold up 0.34, ES up 0.12. Crude is flat. 30-year bonds are flat. Russell is down 0.16. 10-year yield is down 0.19. The dollar is down 0.22 and the Dow is down 0.22. Moving on to the Mag 7 Plus list here. Like I said, Anthropic with the AI and stuff like that, looking like AI capex spend makes sense. All right. We have Micron up over 3%, Intel up 1.25, Amazon up 1.22, Broadcom up 1%, Coinbase up 0.74. Little laggards here. Meta down 0.40, AMD down 0.46, Microsoft down 0.62. All right, moving on to top sectors here. We have Uber up 1.87%, NEM mining stock up over 1%, GE Vernova up 0.80, and Qualcomm up over 0.5%. Visa down over 0.5%, United Healthcare down over 0.5%, Salesforce down 0.77, Oracle down 0.78, and Exxon down 0.91. Looks like software is taking a little hit this morning. Sectors. Semis are up almost 1%, technology up over 0.5%, and really the lagger is healthcare. But it's not down that much, down 0.23. Okay. Looking at calendar, there's not a lot on the charts this week for data. Okay. Today we have NHAB Housing Market Index at 10 a.m. Does that really move markets? Not really. I wouldn't want to start a trade at 10 a.m., but it doesn't really move markets. Okay. The rest of the week, AFF FOMC minutes on Wednesday, couple PMI numbers on Friday. That's the data light week. Even earnings, there's nothing crazy in the earnings this week. Okay. The news is really the Anthropic sales growth, projecting an annual revenue of roughly 190 billion to 200 billion by 2028 as bankers and investors assess the AI startup ahead of a potential blockbuster initial public offering, according to Reuters. The previously unreported forecast is more than 4 times the 47 billion revenue ran rate Anthropic disclosed in May. So that's a big, that's a big difference. Okay, let's look at Trump today. President greets lifeguard Ryder Williams at 1 p.m. Okay. Let's see what the juice has for us today. Let me see that Houthis thing. I'm going to see here. It says reports on the approval to extend the 60-day period between Iran and America. AI Arabia sources, oil fell and U.S. stocks index spiked. So that also spiked markets at 6:30 a.m. I also saw the Houthis. Hold on a second here. Maybe there's a... Yeah. What did I see here? So I can just show you what I saw. Yeah, it's 7:53. I'll show you right here. At 7:53, Yemen's Houthis say they attacked Saudi military landing ship and 4 escort vessels off, I don't know how you say that, Mocha coast in Red Sea with ballistic missiles. No Saudi confirmation. That was at 7:53. And Trump confirms Iran back channel demand surrender. And Uber, that's why Uber's running up here. Uber CEO sees drones accelerating growth of Uber Eats. Interesting. Okay. Back here. Let's see if there's a news brief here that came out for today. Nope, did not get updated. All right. Breadth has not changed that much, so I'm not going to go over that. We're going to go right into market internals. Market internal recap here. Remember I say in the morning, that's where I look at where money flows are going. Okay, so this is very muted. Okay, even though this chart looks like, ooh, that was pretty weak, right? It was not that weak. What was weak was some Mag 7 stocks, right? Infotech was the weakest. That's your technology. Okay. Really, the market was kind of benign. It really wasn't. You had that one push lower and it just couldn't go any lower. What this number is very, very benign. It's not really that weak. Okay, EC equal weight was above 0. Market cap weight below. Market cap weight was the moves in markets, but we just ranged, right? It wasn't really something that was earth-shattering. Plus, you never even hit the previous day's lows. Okay, inside day. Now, NASDAQ was gapping up earlier. It's not anymore. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Market's pushing down right now. Let me see if there's a new something that came out, because the market is pushing lower right now. Let's see if something just broke. I'm trying to see if anybody else has a news break on why the market's just pushing lower. Oh, there it is. Senior Iranian official. Iran has decided to shift its policy from defensive to a fully offensive one. There you go. Right on cue. Man, how long is this war going to last, right? Now, this could be a liquidation break and the market could move higher, because I don't think the market cares too much about these little things. Okay? Algos just fire off. But that's what that was. Okay? What did crude do? Crude is up now. Let's see another thing. Senior Iranian official pressuring the U.S. or retrying on mediators to reach a lasting peace is not realistic. Oh boy. All right. Same old, same old. We don't know what's going on, right? More news just came out. Okay, let's just keep it here. Senior Iranian official: all Iranian entities will be prepared to escalate tensions in the Hormuz Strait and the region if diplomacy fails. All right. Like I said, I don't think the market's going to care too much about this, because I think everybody is numb to this stuff pretty much now. Okay. All right, let's go to daily charts here. Alrighty. So, good old SPY. What are we doing? Broke out. Closed back inside the previous week's highs. Okay. Closed back inside the last week. Didn't close by the breakout level. You don't want to come back inside this level here around 775s. That would be a look above and fail, and that's very bearish once you come out of balance. I don't think the market's gonna like this right here. What this Iranian official is saying for right now. I don't think the market's gonna like it. I don't think it's gonna matter in the big scheme. But that's what's happening. Okay, so right now we're at 776.60s. We are right here. So we are at the lower third now of Friday session. Okay. Let's see what happens here. All right. Let's go to the futures. So futures. Now, you do have, I'm going to put it here just to have it on my charts here. Okay, and that's a daily demand zone. I understand I have to be cautious because this came out of balance, but this is the breakout. Okay. Let me adjust this. Okay. So I'm just going to keep that on my chart. So right here, we got a doji. Okay. Let's see what happens from here. Like I said. Okay. So QQQ. Triple Qs. Okay. You can see there's an ascending wedge here. All right. We do have a daily demand zone already on the charts. And we closed above last week's range. Hit last month's highs. Okay. There is a downtrend line. that we're coming into. Okay. Where are we now? 733.60s. 733.60s. We are at the upper third because this is Anthropic news. Okay. This could have a possibility to break out of this downtrend. Okay. We'll see. We will see. Let's look at futures. Notice here this daily demand I have, right? Just came in there and had a little selling. Okay. This is kind of a daily demand here. Almost pulled back to it. Okay. So this is from all the way back here. We came in there once before and was resistance. Okay. This market, I don't think right now is going to make very big moves. We're at the tail. We're in August. Okay. Anything can happen. Okay. Anything can happen. Do I want to put this? Let me just put it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. All right. So let's extend this too. Just like to have this on my chart. They kind of ground me. Okay. That's a daily demand zone. They're just, in my experience, there's actually another one right there that we went into. You know what? I'm going to do it. All right. It's 2 stack daily demands there. I just want to be very conscious of that. Okay. Oh, these markets are pulling back, boy. This is from this Iranian official. Okay. So that's what's going on. Daily charts. Now, real quick, I'll give you a quick breath reading here. 70%. We ended the day 70% above the 50-day moving average. Overall market's been moving nicely together. Okay. But once you get into the 70s, you can get pullbacks. Maybe this little news gives us a pullback. Okay. We're going to go to hourlies. And let's just look at what I'm talking about here with this Iranian official. Okay. Boom. Here's our hourly charts. And we'll just look at this right here. Get my marker out. Crude, let me see where crude's at. All right, crude, I mean, it's up, but nothing crazy. Okay, so look what we did. Boom, that was Friday. Came right into this bullish for value gap. Then we opened up right there. New week opening gap, filled the gap, pushed higher, right? Came up in here to this. This is pretty serious. This is a 12-hour supply. Came into here, failed. Okay. And now with this latest news, we came into this overlap in demand zones. Okay. I mean, the key is, do we break this swing low at the 77.96 level? Do we? I don't know. Or is it just, this is an excuse to buy the pullback, right? And I could see ourselves doing this week. You never know. Okay. Might turn into, it probably will now, turn into a decent supply zone right here. Because you just had this consolidation and then just ripped lower. Which would make the market even tougher to go higher. Okay. So let's see what transpires here. Let's look at the NASDAQ. Remember, NASDAQ's a lot more bullish with that Anthropic. Okay, now look, that's a pretty nice candle here. Like I said, now this is going to become a heavy supply zone. Okay. This, take that out. Okay, we're in demand now. There's a new week opening gap here, right here on Sunday night. You gapped up. I would say now, if this gets momentum, and like I said, this is going to become, let's see what it would be. Let me just go to a 6 hour. I might even be able to update that now in a 6 hour. Not yet. Not yet in a 6 hour. It's not going to be there yet in an 8 hour either. But I'm just looking at it. No, no, no. All right. So we probably have to go drop down to a 4 hour. There we go. That's not even done yet either. Okay. That's not done yet either. So that's going to be a very good, serious supply. Okay. Probably on a 3 hour, I can get that done. No, it's still active in a 3 hour. Let's drop down to a 2 hour. All right, so that's going to be a key. Once this hour closes, that will be that's getting a nice pullback with this Iranian news. Okay, so you just broke out. You're up here, and now you're coming back. So that new week opening gap becomes a very serious level. That's 301.66 down to 301.54. Okay, they usually get filled, so maybe this is the opportunity for that to get filled. All right. We just took out this demand zone. We're in another demand zone here. Market's not liking this right now. And let me see, look at crude. Crude starting to fly up now. Okay. Now, this big bullish for value gap here that the market held on Friday, a lot of poor structure there. But this is bullish when the market holds that, right? Still, if it breaks this swing low of around the 30022s, 24s, this could easily take all this away. Does it happen? I don't know. This is a pretty nice candle, okay? That's the hourly charts, all right? So market's giving us something to work with today, all right? Otherwise, now you're getting some movement lower, okay? Interesting, Staples is the laggard this morning. I know there's some Walmart and stuff like that reporting earnings this week, so let's see. What we're going to do now is move on to that market profile, volume profile. Now that the market's given us something to work with, okay? Here's your market profile and volume profile. Remember, inside day of this large range, that large range is 52-point range, right? Then you had this little garbage overnight session. Couldn't even take out those overnight highs. You couldn't even take out the previous day's lows. And you had this like bearish imbalance to the profile here. But then we pushed higher. Now you have a poor high in the overnight highs here, which is an equal high, okay, in a 30-minute. So I think we just took out this demand. Let's see here. If we could push a little lower, this demand will be taken care of, and you'll be okay. So we're inside. Interesting here. It's like one of those tchotchkes, right? It's like you're got a regular trading hour session, then you had an overnight inside this session, then you had a regular trading session on Friday inside that session of Thursday, then you have overnights inside Friday session, right? So this one session still has not have a high or low touch. Okay. As this market pulls back, now this is gone. This demand zone's gone. Okay. Now, the big level still is your 775s is your ultimate balance level in the ES, right? It's bullish. The market's bullish above it. Okay. It's all you got to really know about that level. Okay. Now, as we break this session out, okay, we just hit the most traded price of Friday. Okay. Major supply here. Now you're going to have another supply zone here, making the market probably hard to do much. Okay. Up to the upside. We'll see though. We'll have to see. So what are we going to do now? We're going to go into the long and short trade scenarios in the ES. Now, we do have a little negative news here. Okay. So I'm going to start still with longs. Okay, so this is a mini bull bear line. Let's call it the 7,800. Right here, you got demand, the most traded price. Okay, if we come down here, break through, right, that's 7,800 and test Friday's low, 77.96. You have a bullish for value gap here. This bullish for value gap is very important. If it cannot be taken out and you get support, whoop, higher low back inside that range of the Friday, you go long. Where you're going to target that poor high, the 78.24s in the overnights, and then you're going to go for the 78.30s. Okay, remember, we're still above 77.75s, which is the most traded price, ultimate balance. That level, you have to be bullish above it. Okay. Now, I'd even say this: if the market just rips right to 77.85s, which is Thursday lows, big demand zones here. Okay, now the market has to not be that weak. I'd like this to be very quick. Comes down in here, boom, bounces off 77.75. That's probably a long. Okay, then target around 7,800. Okay, it's all if, right? Now, we're going to talk about a short here. I'm really not crazy about shorting here. Okay, it's not really something that I'm excited about. Now, if we do bounce here, like whoop, and then the market rips up, takes out that poor high in the overnights, right? Big supply zone here. Sweeps it, pushes back into the overnight range. That's a short. Now you can target 77.96s and see if you can go down to the 77.75s. Okay. I understand you could get a short in here. I'm not a fan of it right now. But right now, I'm not a fan of it. All right. That's really all I care about there. NASDAQ. Give me 1 second. All right. Now, we're going to look at the NASDAQ. Now, one thing you notice here is we were gapping up. We were. Okay, we were gapping up. 100% net long in the overnights. So that makes a move in the NASDAQ lower something to pay attention to. New week opening gap. Remember I talked about that level. It might even get filled while I'm talking. The 30166 to 30154. Okay. This is probably going to get filled now as we're watching this. And then I'll get rid of it. Okay. The 24-hour most traded price is 302s. 302s. So right here is the overnight most traded price and the 24-hour most traded price of the week. This is setting up right now to flush lower. Right now. Okay. I could see it just coming down here. But let's see. Okay. You really never know. We are going to have a supply zone up here now. Okay. We are going to have a supply zone. Okay. Let's get into scenarios here. And I will probably be trading most likely, we'll see, most likely be trading the NASDAQ this week. So let's get into some scenarios here and see exactly what I'm looking for. Now, I would generally give some long here. I think this is going to be taken care of as we speak or whatever. So what I'm going to say is a long. I would like the overnight lows to be taken out to fill this new week opening gap, come back down into this demand and the most traded price of Friday, that and a previous weekly high, not last week's, the week before that, around the 300, right, 70 area. I want to see what the market does here. Even if we come down here, take out the 300, 2.5s, Friday's lows, if we cover above and hold around that 370 area, I believe that could be a very sneaky long. Target 302s and see if you could target the 30339s, the overnight highs. Okay. Remember this big bullish value gap, any support, and it is bullish. Okay. So see how farther we are up, right? The NASDAQ structure is much more bullish than in the ES. We are far away from ultimate balance, which is 29750s. Way long ways from it, okay? You have nothing to really worry about structure-wise. If we're above this, it's bullish, okay? Now, a sneaky long can also be take the new week opening gap out, which is the overnight lows, and a little lower to the 301s. What is that? 301.55s. If you take out, I'm going to say this, and come up, make a strong move and pull back to the 302s, which is the overnight most traded price and the 24-hour most traded price of the week. There, you could target the overnight highs, 3339s, and then you have heavy supply up here. Okay, now a short. There is supply now here. So I'm going to say this. If you were to take care of that new week opening gap, right? You take care of that supply, and then you do get love up here, up in this area. If you can't resolve this area, okay, which is going to be a supply zone around the 303s, and you get a lower high, all right, and you fail to take out the overnight lows, and say the market's kind of neutral, this would probably be a decent short. I don't know how deep you go here, okay, but possibly go out for Friday's lows. Okay. Now, once you do, I'm going to give you one more. Like I said, I think this new week opening gap is going to get filled. If we do happen to come down strong, take out Friday's lows, okay, 300.25s, right? And then when you find acceptance and the market's kind of weak inside this bullish for value gap, yeah, then this can get pretty ugly. And you can find yourself going all the way down to 29862, then all the way down to ultimate balance 297.5s, okay? That's it for me, folks, okay? So quick recap. This is already being taken care of, right? The 7800s, right? If this falls, remember, 775 is ultimate balance. We'll just have to see. Remember, structurally, that's bullish, staying above that level. NASDAQ, remember, it's not even close to ultimate balance, 297.5. I think this new week opening gap will get filled in front of us. And then you have to deal with the 370 area. That's the previous week's highs and demand and the most traded price Friday. That level right there is going to tell us if we're bullish or not. All right. That's it for me, folks, today. Smash the like button if you enjoyed that. That would mean a lot to me. As always, subscribe, set that alert, do this every morning. Give you the market news, economic calendar, technical analysis. And I just gave you the long and short trade scenarios in ES and NASDAQ futures. All right. If you want more in-depth coverage, you're going to join my Discord. That's Confluence Trading. Go to my YouTube homepage, click on the link, and sign up. What are you waiting for? Let me be your indicator. All right. Now we have our process. We have our plan. We got some negative news. Let's see if that transpires into anything or is just another pullback to buy. All right. Now we'll be going live around 9:45 a.m. Hopefully you join me. If I don't see you in there, I'll see everybody tomorrow.